Hi everyone, it's Andrea here from Admire PR, and as part of my Andrea Meets series, I'm here with David Ithier, who is an independent financial advisor who I know through the brilliant BNI network in Bristol and Somerset region that we're part of. David, tell everyone how you got into financial advice and how you got started.
I joined the industry in 1988. I left school. I could have gone into banking, or I could have gone into the wonderful world of investments and pensions. And I saw more scope in investment and pensions. So that's the direction I went in, I should say. I went to join a company in Sun Life, which is in St James Barton by the Bear Pit. I worked there for several years. I learned about final salary pension schemes, and then individual personal pensions were starting to come into fashion in the early 90s. And I started learning more about them. And then I got introduced to independent financial advisors. And I thought, that's where I want to end up. And for a series of different jobs, education, exams, I finally got across to be an independent financial advisor, working more and more directly with them as I went through my career, and learning the craft and learning how to understand people, which is really predominantly what I want to do, is help people make better use of their finances. And then I've been an IFA for nearly 15 years. So, and that brings us right up to 2022.
Brilliant. And you mentioned people, and I think especially people in the UK, they find talking about money and finances is that kind of thing that you don't, it's quite personal, isn't it? And you don't really talk about it much. So what is it about being an independent financial advisor that really, what is it that makes you get up in the morning? What do you love so much about it?
Because you're going to make a difference to somebody. You're going to make a difference in somebody's life that will enable them to do things that they never thought they would dream possible, and give them a plan. Yeah, because if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So and I love planning. So by default, I'm doing the job that I love the most, which is planning everything. And it's all the attention to detail stuff, which is a BNI member, I was completing a form, and I said, do you mind just putting the postcode in that box there, please? Because everybody puts it in a main box with the rest of the address. She said, I bet that drives you nuts. And I said, yeah, it does. And I actually rewrite the form when I get home, because I'm that much of a stickler for detail. And there's loads of stuff I see, but there's a variety of different things that people can interpret different ways. And I have to interpret it in the way that it was meant. Yeah. And that when it comes to investments and pensions and the legality of what we do. So I was asked questions this very morning, about how does salary sacrifice work, and how does, if I'm borrowing this much, does it mean that I can actually borrow this much from my pension, or does it mean that I can only borrow so much from my pension? And there's so many rules and regulations about what I do, which is why we're authorized and regulated. We've done the exams to do it, many exams to do it, which allows us to give the right information and give the right advice.
Yeah, that's brilliant. It's so nice when you, I found a career where it just suits me and my natural abilities, and I never feel like I'm going to work. It's part of my day. It's just part of my life. It's never
something
work.
You want to do, not something you have to do.
Yeah. I mean, we're really lucky, right, to find that, because I know that's the dream for many people. So I think I've heard a lot of people, they're concerned about the energy prices, the cost of living, potential recession. What tips would you give people right now to help themselves feel a bit more secure, perhaps?
Look, a couple of things here is, it is a short-term problem. All the economists I've spoken to and all the ones that have been reporting back to us that they do on a regular basis have said that it is a very short-term problem. It might feel long whilst we're living it, whilst we're in it, but we expect things to change. And the thing about a recession is, it's 2 quarters of negative growth in the UK. Having said that, though, a recession, in my mind, we discussed this earlier, where there are still so many jobs out there that you can have that are available to the general public, that it doesn't feel like a recession as any recession or you and I have witnessed. So it's not quite the same thing. So there's a bit of hope there on the horizon, which is what I want to say today. Okay. But with regard to how you deal with it on a short-term basis, review everything. Review your monthly bills, your utility bills, your things you're paying out, and review your insurances. Do you have the right insurance? I met somebody the other day. They had 3 policies and I had no idea why. And it just kept getting policy after policy after policy over a period of 10 years. And I said, you're overinsured to the tune of about £500,000. And I never sell insurance, I tell insurance. If you have a need to be insured, then as an independent financial advisor and with a compliance team that are very, very hot on this sort of thing, and quite rightly so, you have to justify why you're having it, why you're having it for the length of time you're having it, and what exactly you're using it for. Because remember, if you're claiming on life insurance, it's not a you problem. You're just paying the bills. At the end of the day, the sum assured, if you're dead, will go to somebody else. So, and you won't be dead. Yeah. Right? So you have to be really sure why you're having insurances. So make sure you review them as well. And that includes all insurances, not just personal ones, but general ones. Your car insurance, your house insurance. There are a plethora of things we have that we insure for to protect ourselves because we feel that we're going to claim on that kind of policy. Yeah. So just make sure you're getting good value for money. And then just check your household bills are correct. Check the banding for your house. If your council tax bill, you might want to review that. These are all things you do. And I'm not saying you do them all in one go, but I personally, I check on an 18-month basis. So not every year I check all the bills, but I do check every bill in a period of 2 years. I've checked all my bills because I know full well that my mobile bill will change. I've seen so many people still paying for the higher rate when they paid their phone off. They could have gone down to a SIM-only contract.
Yeah, so easy to do. Yeah.
Exactly. And so you just want to make sure. I saw somebody paying on a hire purchase agreement. They never paid by a year. They stopped the payments, by the way. They stopped paying for the actual thing they bought, but the company was still debiting them like over £100 a month.
Yeah.
They didn't even see it go out. And I said, you do realise that's because you just check these little things. Yeah. But it's the same with everybody, isn't it? You can't see the wood for the trees. So sometimes you just need somebody who can take a step back, look at it with some perspective where it's not personal to them, and they're looking at it objectively. And if you look at your finances, that's what we do. We look at what's going out. We look at what you're spending your money on, what might change in the future, what might not change in the future, But this is going to be tough times for everybody. So, you want to scrutinize on this sort of stuff.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, I mean, the other day, I got call after call from the water people. And I was thinking, I've paid my bill. What are they on about? It turns out there was a second account set up for my property, like just by accident. And then they're like, oh, sorry about that. Like, really? That you're only just saying sorry? That's yeah. But really quite glad I phoned up and went through the small hell of having to phone up and wait and everything to find out that
and I'm not saying this won't be hell doing this. I'm saying you can imagine how many bills you have, how much hell this will be, and it is commensurate with the amount of bills you have because you're going to be on hold for a really long time.
Yeah, it's worth it though.
But it's worth it though. Yeah, it's worth it. If you could save a few £100 a month, you could save £50, £60 a month. It all adds up because it's going to be tighter, especially when the price cap for energy goes up in October. And I know we're going to get payments and so on and so forth. Vast majority of us will get payments coming through. But it won't be enough by any stretch. It'll help, but by default, the government can't do for us. We still need to do for ourselves. So it is a help, not so you can't rely on that. So make the use of reviewing things.
Brilliant advice, David. Thank you so much for bringing your smiles and your practical advice to my little channel on the hottest day of the year. David's in a suit and a tie and I look like I'm on holiday. It's all good.
I actually insisted on this.
Yeah. I know. What can I say? Thank you so much.
My absolute pleasure. Thank you.